I just saw a comment on a video and it was inevitably going to happen. It was about the fact that Netflix is raising their prices in certain territories. I think one was the USA, I think USA, Canada, Argentina, I think Portugal. I think they're the ones listed. And then I waited for the comment. I had to say it. And as soon as I saw it, I just sort of laughed. Someone said, "Should we? Is this something we should start boycotting?" And I'm thinking to myself, like, really, do people struggle to think for themselves? If you set in your life, you should be making decisions for yourself. You shouldn't be waiting for people to do things en masse to go, all right, now I'm in. Make a decision for yourself. How much do you think is reasonable? For me personally, something like Netflix, I think, where I draw a limit, I think it's about £11.99. At the moment, it's £10.99. It's just a basic thing. Like, how much value do I get from it? How much do I watch it? If you consume it regularly, you're home all day, you watch it, you got to just ask yourself, how much is the entertainment worth to you? And what alternatives do you have? The reason I say £11.99 to me personally is I have an awful lot of Blu-rays, I have a lot of DVDs, I have them in movies, and I have them in TV series. Also have some VHS tapes. I've got content that I can just consume when I want to anyway. So it's got to add value to my life. Otherwise, there's no point. I'm not just going to hemorrhage money just duplicating content. Some of Netflix got some exclusive content I enjoy, but there's going to be a limit to how far I get pushed with it. Amazon Prime, for instance, you get different services. At the moment, it's £8.99. I can see, like, in terms of the service, I can see be pushing it to like £12.99 or something because they have of other things. If you get free video games every month, you get free access to borrow um, digital books on your Kindle. You also get a free book on the first read. So those are books that are not out yet; they're about to be released. There's maybe like 6 books you can pick from, or 10 books, and you get to keep them. So that's a book side of things. You also got storage, a bit like iCloud. So you get you get Amazon storage. A lot of people don't know about a lot of these options. And of course, you get your free delivery and you get the video feature. But the reason I'd say there's a limit, maybe £12.99, is because for the most part, the only thing I'm truly benefiting from is the fact that I get to watch the TV content and I get to have the delivery feature through Prime. They're useful, but are they my primary interest? Not really. I mean, I prefer the content on Netflix to Prime, but Prime I still find some really great stuff, and it's like, yeah, okay. But I'm not going to wait for people to boycott en masse to go, you know what, I think it's time I stopped using these services. I'll just decide for myself. Is it value? So you must have an idea in your mind what you think's a good price and whether you're getting pushed beyond it. There's no point waiting for everybody else to go, you know what, I don't like the sound of this. It's not for that to happen for you to decide, it's fine. If you say to yourself, look, I love Netflix. I love the content. Everything is great. It's all, I never bored. I'm easily prepared to pay £20. Then you do you. If £20 reasonable to you, then fine. It's, it's subjective to the individual, isn't it? Like I said, because I've got a lot of other content, it's not. If I didn't have, for instance, a vast music library where I've got it on my iPod, I can listen to it on the computer, I've got CDs, I've got other things around the home. If I didn't have that, my limit with like Spotify and apps like this for music would be a lot higher. If I didn't have any music at all, I'd probably pay £20 a month because because there's an awful lot of music that you can listen to. It's like endless. That's incredible. And if you break it down weekly, it's £5 a week. Um, so yeah, I'm not someone that just sits and watches telly constantly though. If I did, then my limit for Netflix and Amazon Prime would be higher. I do like listening to music though, and I like to have things on tap that I like listening to. But I've also got an iPod though, and I do have all these other things. So I've actually dropped the music app. It's a bit of a transition, but I'm enjoying it. I'm listening back on my iPod. The music's just the same that I have on my iPod as it is on the app, the streaming service. I don't have as much, but I have all of my curated list that I like. So my idea is that £11.99 now for music is too high. If it was lower, I think £8.99. Again, you could say it's not that much difference, but we have tipping points. We have tipping points. Netflix for me, in the past, I was doing the expensive one, but it was too much. I was like, I don't care about the 4K anymore, not to the point where they're charging £17.99. So I cut it off. Then I did the ad version for £4.99. I think it's gone up to £5.99. But the adverts are so intrusive. So I've upgraded to the HD one with no ads, and it's £10.99. But if the price increases in the UK, then I'll have to consider what the price is. And I will also consider how much I'm using the service and whether I truly enjoy the content. If it turns out, to my surprise, that I'm actually using Netflix a lot, then maybe I might justify paying slightly more. So maybe they put the price above what I said I'd pay, and I might think, you know what, I can do that. But you do need to have in the back of your mind, prices are always going to go up. So if it's on a threshold as it stands and you're not comfortable, it's worth making a decision early to start finding an alternative entertainment then, because it's only going to get that is only going to increase. I've always said this. Eventually, people are going to be paying like £100 a month for all their services because because you're going to get tied to it. And the music will be £20 a month. Netflix will easily be 29.99 a month. One day, Prime will be £20 a month. These are all hemorrhaging. You've got Game Pass on the consoles. That'll go up in price. Eventually, you've got all your media, whether it's video games, whether it's music, whether it's um, your movies and things, and they're going to be an extreme price one day. So really, it's worth accounting for that now and making a decision for yourself. You don't have to wait for a boycott to tell you that now's a good time to start shifting away from some of these services. So, for instance, I've cut Disney because I've managed to buy an awful lot of Marvel Blu-rays. I already had things like Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, I've got a lot of Disney originals anyway. It's fine. Yeah, okay, I miss out on a few films here and there, but I'm not paying these fees. I've had enough. You know, it's just too much. This one and this one and this one and this one. All of a sudden, you're hemorrhaging money on a monthly basis. I don't think that's a reasonable lifestyle. Um, so I've made the decision to cut the services early, and I'm only left now with Netflix and Amazon Prime. And I will decide when I think enough is enough. I'm not going to sort of go by some sort of consortium that says all of a sudden now's the time to boycott. You can make decisions for yourself. You don't need to be waiting for no boycott. And I think people need to start thinking for themselves more because there's too much of this only thinking en masse. And it's like until someone justifies it and there's some movement, it's like I'm not going to make a decision. So really, that's illogical.